It's 5 in the morning. I'm just about ready to start my fire. Gonna make some bread today. So at this point, I placed my tripod beside the fire because that's just enough to get this just a little bit warm. You can feel it on this side. So the Dutch oven that you're gonna rise the bread in, you have to, put a bit of oil in there, and you gotta spread it out and make it nice, and put it all over inside there to make sure that the bread doesn't stick to the pot. Make sure you get all around in there. The vegetable oil is good, You can even put some. There you go. Now that's done. I got some water there. It's really hot, so I'm gonna have to let that cool down. So I'm gonna start off with 2 cups of flour. Normally I do this recipe in the house under more of a controlled environment. Usually I'll melt some lard, and my recipe calls for lard usually, but this outside bushcraft recipe is different. Everything is it's to be able to bring stuff in your bug out bag or your pack sack. So let's say for sugar, I'll go half a cup of sugar. Okay, half a cup of sugar, and then the bottom of the palm of your hand of salt. All right, and mix that up. Don't know what that's doing in there, but it's a piece of dough that from another bread I made. So that's all mixed up. All right, so now that water is quite hot, but we need at least a cup of water for the yeast. We're gonna go a quarter of a cup of water. All right, so I have my 2 cups of flour in there. I have some sugar, some salt. My yeast is ready to go. So I'm gonna start off with adding a bit of water in there, maybe a half a cup, quarter cup. Spread it around in there, and then add the yeast. And now I got a stick for this for the beginning of the process of mixing it. I'll get the camera and show you inside what it looks like. You see, at first what you want to do is you just want to mix this all up. So now we're just about ready to put our hands in there. Add a little bit more flour in there. And then flour on the table here. And we're going to make a mess. So you flip it over like that, and you trap the air inside. When it starts to get sticky, you just, pass it over the flour. So at this point, after 5 minutes or 5-10 minutes of kneading the dough, I like to start going like this, and I'm shaping it into a nice round ball. That. So that's what it looks like. I'm ready to put that over the fire and let it rise for 45 minutes to an hour. So I waited for about 40 minutes to an hour, and when I looked at my dough, and it didn't rise, so I think I had a bad batch of yeast there. So I went ahead and start cooking it anyways. This is how you cook it. You put your ashes, you put some coals on top there, and you got to wait another 35 to 40 minutes. It's still going to be a good tasting bread. It's just going to be really dense, good for toast, you know. I gotta say that cooking bread outside and making a video at the same time is quite the challenge. So for this recipe, you also need arrows. Gotta take that off. Set that down there. Oh yeah, she's ready. This is how it turned out. It rose a little bit, but not all that much. It smells good. Boy, is it ever hard to butter bread and hold the camera. Can't wait to try this. Delicious. Even though it didn't rise, still delicious. And carry a bowl in your pack sack and yeah, still a success for me because the bread is, it tastes very good. It's firm. It's got the holes in there, you know. And, yeah, not bad.